If you are looking how to whip up an authentic beef and broccoli out on your Blackstone Griddle, I am telling you right now, do not look any further, as we will touch on your broccoli selection, also your steak selection, some of the seasonings you're going to want. How about the slurry? We'll touch on that and how to get that beef and broccoli with that nice velvety, smooth texture. Of course, we will touch on Forget your local takeout and get these ingredients together. I am telling you right now, you will never make a better beef and broccoli. I guarantee it. Alrighty, all, welcome back to the channel. Of course, my name is Tommy, and this here is Licensed to Griddle, and this is going to be the first time on the channel where 90% of the recipe is going to be prep work. I'm going to do that in the house. I've got some footage to roll for you guys. You got to watch it, though. It is important to watch it. Once that is done, and I'll make it as quick as possible, I'll have the griddle all set up. The cook is only going to take about 4 or 5 minutes. That is it. So let's turn it on over to in the house, and let's watch this prep. First up is going to be in your broccoli selection, and I will get through this as quick as possible. Tip number 1, do not use frozen bagged broccoli to make beef and broccoli. It is just silly to do so. Pick up a fresh broccoli like this. You want to cut them down into basically singles or doubles, nothing really bigger than that. You want everything more or less to bite size. Once you get that all cleaned up, you got to have some boiling water ready. Get that broccoli in the water. You are going to blanch it off for probably, 3.5 minutes. Have an ice bath on the side all ready to go, because you got to immediately stop that cooking. We are talking a very al dente type broccoli right here. By doing this, you are going to preserve that deep green color, which is exactly what you want in a beef and broccoli. And again, this whole process only took 3 minutes or so tops. Get it in that ice bath. Immediately drain it once the cooking has stopped, and just admire your work. So let's talk about our beef. In beef and broccoli, there really is only one choice, and that is going to be in a flank steak. You want to get it. You want to get it in the freezer for about a good solid half hour. You are going to cut it along and with the grain, because you do not want bigger pieces than our bite-sized pieces. So I like to cut it in half like that. Again, you want to go with the grain. Once you do that, it is just a matter of slicing them up. Again, if it is semi-frozen or 30, 45 minutes in the freezer, makes this process a lot easier. And I like to keep these sizes mixed, 1/8 inch to thinner than 1/8 inch, and just slice it up. You don't have to get crazy doing this. You are going to be going against the grain, which is a 100% must, and that is going to give you melt in your mouth beef. That I can guarantee you. From there, you are going to move that beef into a bowl, and we are going to velvet the beef right here, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And this is going to be a must. And again, remember, all the ingredients that I am using for this part right here can be found in the description under the show notes. This is going to give you that velvety, smooth texture in the beef that any great, and I'm talking great, beef and broccoli has to have. And this is the way you are going to get there. You are going to give that a good mix. Again, remember, all the ingredients down in the description. Just pour that over the beef, and very important here, use a gloved hand. You want to make sure that liquid gets on every piece of the beef. Put that on the side to rest for about 45 minutes. So let's just jump right into a few of the seasoning. That is a green onion or a scallion. That is going to be used to finish the product off. You will see that. That is going to be crushed garlic, about 4 to 5 cloves. You can do a loose chop on it, no big deal. A little bit of red pepper flakes. I like a little bit of bite in my beef and broccoli. You can pass on that if you like. And of course, some sesame seeds and powdered ginger. And moving right along, we got to talk about the sauce. Another mistake people make is they think they can make this sauce out on the griddle. That is kind of tough to do. You are not going to get the flavors that you think you're going to get. So you're going to want to pre-mix this sauce in the house, outside, wherever. Have it all pre-mixed and all ready to go. I am telling you, that is a key, along with the fresh broccoli, to make the best beef and broccoli you've ever tasted in your life. Now let's get on out to the griddle and let's start griddling. Yeah. Alrighty, and here we go. And a couple tips right off the bat. You want that griddle screaming. I am talking full up, 450 if you can get there. Get that broccoli on. And again, we are practically just about cooked on that broccoli. So this whole part of the cook is not going to take long. I've got some fresh garlic down. I've got the broccoli down. A little bit of oil on the garlic. And as you can see, we are definitely screaming. You want the broccoli down, no longer than 2-3 minutes, really, for this whole part of the cook. Just kind of keep it moving. I'm going to get that broccoli moved on over to the side because you know what is coming. And of course, that is going to be our velvety beef. I mean, it is so velvety. It is sticking to that container, that glass container. Pour that right over the broccoli. Important here, you want to make sure you have good contact with your griddle and don't play with the beef. Let it sit, little oil down, and you are only going to leave it there for probably, maybe 2 minutes or so. You want to start to get a little bit of browning on that beef. And again, spread it out. This is where that 36-inch griddle comes in handy because you want that beef spread out. You want it all the singular pieces touching the griddle. That is very important. Now I will start to get a little bit of seasonings down. Again, remember, full ingredient list, full seasonings is down in the description under the show notes. After about 2.5 minutes or so, you can start flipping your beef over. You are not going to get like a heavy brown sear that you would on a steak. All you are basically looking to do here is brown the beef. So give it a good flip. Make sure you get all the pieces flipped over. Right. The thing we want to do here is we want to get at least 90 to 95% of the red out of the beef. Remember, when this is done in a wok, it is screaming hot, and you are basically just going to kind of flick the wok, right? You flick the wok, you keep that beef moving. It is the same premise here on the griddle. I mean, there really is nothing different. Screaming hot griddle, there's the flick of the wok right there, and there is the velvety texture on my glove right there. And that is exactly what you want for this beef. That is the key to this beef, and that is what a lot of people seem to miss. Just keep turning that beef. Once you get about all that red, or just about all that red out of the beef, you could start marrying the two, the broccoli and the beef. Oh yeah, this is looking good. And just make sure you get a nice mixture of the two. And now you are going to grab your sauce and get that sauce poured on. Again, if you try to do this on the griddle, you are going to mess up the sauce. This is the perfect sauce, and this is the sauce that is going to take this recipe better than any takeout Chinese joint in your area. I can friggin' guarantee that. Get a little bit of water in there if you feel necessary to thin the sauce out. No biggie there. There is packing of flavor. That is some red pepper flakes. I like a little bit of bite in my beef and broccoli, so we will sprinkle that in. And again, just keep it moving. That sauce is going to thicken up. Like I said, if you feel you need to thin it, tablespoon or 2 of water. That is going to be our sesame seeds. Key to the recipe. Get those sesame seeds on the griddle. If you've never toasted off sesame seeds before, that is going to add a nutty flavor to the seeds like you've never tasted, and that is going to take this whole recipe through the roof in flavor. It is only going to take about a minute or so on those seeds. After that, just get them all mixed in with the beef and broccoli. Look, what I want to do here. We are done. Let's get on over to the board. We are going to plate all this up, and then I am going to take this in live. We will do that taste test, talk about it, and close out the show. Oh. Alrighty guys, and that is going to be your beef and broccoli, and I took a little bit of a sample as I was, after I plated it up, and I could tell you it is absolutely incredible, but I will do that taste test for you guys online. This went off without a hitch. Look, the key is first off, the key is going to be that real broccoli. It is going to need to be blanched off, then ice watered out to stop that cooking. You want to keep that perfectly green, and you want to keep it at about 85-90% cooked, whatever, like al dente. And then, of course, all that other prep work, man, is so key to the recipe. You get all that prep work done, and then you just come out here, fire up the griddle high across the board. You want to be up and over 400. That is very important, because when you put that steak on or the beef on, you want to cook it fast. I mean, you saw it, 3 minutes maybe. That is it, and I could tell you it is silky smooth in texture, and that is that slurry that we used on the to sit on the steaks. Some people wash that off. I don't like to do that, as again, I just feel it just adds a little bit more smoothiness into the recipe, and here you go. I mean, I know it's hard to pick up on camera. We are still hot here, but let's go in. I got to give you guys that taste test, and cheers. Wow. So guys, this is beef and broccoli. Better than any takeout restaurant in your area, I guarantee it. I'm from Jersey, and we got pretty good Chinese food around here. This is just better. It is just, it has better flavors in it, and it is nice and fresh. So, look, man, this is an amazing dish, an amazing recipe right here. I don't know what else to say. The sesame seeds, toasting them off is key. Gives it a gives it a nutty flavor, along with the sesame oil is in there, and all the other recipes. But the important thing is that slurry in the beginning. This is, I'm not sure if the camera is picking this up, but that is key to the recipe. Perfect, man, perfect. Look at this. Look at it. This is like brisket. Just pulls right apart, man. There is no, here you go. Look at this. So look, that is going to close out this show. And yes, I have rice. That is going to be later tonight when we chow down on this. I didn't want to pour this over the rice now because it's still in the morning here. This is going to sit for a couple hours. I didn't want that rice to get all sogged out. So the rice will be served tonight. This is incredible. All the information on this cook can be found down in the description. You got to make this, man, authentic beef and broccoli, better than any takeout in your area. So look, that is going to close out this show here. My name is Tommy, and I guess that makes me the Griddler. I appreciate you guys checking in week after week. And until next time, we will see you. Garbage man, garbage man, garbage.